Hello, my name is Nick Williams, Master Gardener, Becker County Extension Service, and today I'm going to talk about hobby greenhouses. Behind me is a hobby greenhouse, and first of all you have to decide if you want to build one, and the decision should not be based on an investment. It is not an investment. It may in fact depreciate the value of your property. It is simply spending money. We are such gardening advocates that we figured it was worth it, and it has been. This provides us with year-round education and entertainment and work. After you decide whether or not you build one, the second thing you need to check is zoning and covenants. These are considered outbuildings, and some covenants restrict outbuildings in certain neighborhoods. And zoning is dependent on the total square footage and whether or not it's on a foundation. And these are things you need to know before you decide what size and what type of greenhouse to build. Then you want to decide for what purpose. When we built this one, we wanted a 4-season greenhouse. Our intent was to produce citrus, and we did. We had citrus trees growing in there for 3 years. We got a total of 2 oranges and 2 grapefruit. And it wasn't because of the expense of keeping it warm that we stopped doing that. It was bugs. The bugs that infested the plants inside there were able to live year-round, and they thrived and got really big and uncontrollable. So we had to let it freeze out one winter to kill the bugs, and then from that point onward we used our greenhouse as a season extender. We get about a 2-month head start in the spring, and we can go for about 6 to 8 weeks in the fall, longer than the average growing season. And as you'll see on the inside, that allows us to grow some things that don't normally grow in Minnesota. This greenhouse is 16 by 30. It came as a kit. It is 2 layers of plastic. So there's 3 layers of plastic, so there's 2 air spaces in the walls with aluminum frame. There are several different types of greenhouses available. Most of them are made in Europe, and it's about a 2-month shipping process to get them here. And then it's about maybe 40 to 80 man-hours to get them put together on a foundation. There is a construction company in Minneapolis that builds so-called stick-built greenhouses, and they are beautiful. They're built from the ground up, bricks and glass. They cost 3 to 4 times as much as something like this would cost. We considered that, however, thought the cost was prohibitive after careful consideration. As you can see, we have trees growing in here. These are apple trees that would normally thrive in zone 6 or 7. The passive heating that we have, solar, as well as this, which is a heat sink. There are casks in here with material that absorbs heat during the sunny days and radiates it back out at night. It's quite effective, surprisingly effective. Some days when it's 20 below outside and the sun's shining, it can be so hot in here that the automatic vents have to open. It's been 90 degrees inside this greenhouse when it's 20 below outside. We also have a cherry tree back here that normally grows in the Pacific Northwest. I think it's called a rain air cherry, but I'm not 100% sure. That's certainly something that wouldn't normally grow in Minnesota. We also have kiwi fruit down in front of my straw bales there. They seem to be thriving. This is their 2nd summer. Seem to be doing pretty well. We have artichokes, which is something that wouldn't normally grow well in Minnesota. They seem to be doing pretty well. And this is now the 2nd week of May. We've already harvested kale. We've harvested chard. Our carrots look like about, middle July or so. They're doing quite well. And behind the carrots you see celery, which is requires a fairly long growing season, but does well inside a greenhouse such as this. In the back, in those freestanding tubs, we have Brussels sprouts in the left-hand corner, and next to that we have eggplant and then cherry tomatoes. Also have a nutrient film technique hydroponic system over there that we grow celery, chard, and lettuce, and another nutrient film technique system up on top here that grows tomatoes and cucumbers. So again, the biggest decision is to decide whether or not you want to do this. An avid gardener, we did this when we were approaching retirement, and we considered it's either this or a boat. And I'm glad we got this. It's been a tremendous way to spend money. I was going to say investment, but it's not an investment. We've had real estate people tell us, just like an in-ground swimming pool, it doesn't really cause an appreciation in property values. It may cause a depreciation. And one can design one with enough efficiency so that year-round growing can be done. And we were getting on the road to successful citrus production in here, but we didn't feel like we needed to invest in all the insecticides to control the insects that came in with the citrus fruit. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about hobby greenhouses, you can call the Extension office in Detroit Lakes. Thank you.